Michelle Masacchio, Fit Money CPA, where vet med meets smart business. Again, at the home theater. So we are going to hope that the one baby you guys have not met, Dominic, decides to show up. He may not. And of course, as you know, somebody else might wander in too. So today, I wanted to chat with you guys about questions I wish that practice owners would ask. And if practice owners asked me these questions, I can almost guarantee that they would have more money, less stress. They would stop feeling like they're running in circles to get to the same place at the end of the year. But unfortunately, the questions I often get are, how can I pay less in taxes? Is this deductible? Should I be an S corporation? Those are all great questions. Absolutely, they're great questions, and we want to get the answers to them. But those aren't the questions I'd like to hear out of the gate. So one of the questions that I want to talk about today is, where's my money going? So if we can sit down and go through your accounting records and use our proprietary Positive Financial 360, we can help identify where those leaks are. You'd be surprised at what we find. And again, be happy to chat with you on those. The next question that I wish that most practice owners would ask is, which services are actually making me money? We have a great tool, folks, available to you, available to everyone in the vet world. It's the AHA chart of accounts. And if we're using that, then we can track the exact numbers that we need to see which service is being profitable for you. And once we identify that service, if we can put more concentration and more of our efforts into that one service, think about how less stressful you'd be, how much more money you could probably have. The third question that I wish every practice owner would ask is, we've unfortunately had some type of a disaster. Maybe our AC went out, maybe I don't know, something, but you are closed for a month. Could the practice still survive? You still have fixed costs. Would you be able to survive for 30 days if revenue totally stopped right now? It's an interesting question. Love to have the answer for it. The next question is, hey, Michelle, what numbers should I be tracking to make sure that my practice is on the right path and that we are earning money, that we are making money I can take home, I can take care of my family? So, it's things like the average transaction value. How much does each client walking through that door spend with you? Revenue per doc. Again, how much is that doc making? And some incentives for docs are obviously production bonuses, but we need to dive in to make sure that they're actually bringing money in and not just spending time. Payroll percentage of your gross revenue. If it's too high, if it's 50, 60%, folks, that's too high. We need to take a look, and we may not need to get rid of any staff, may not need to ask them to leave, but we may just need to shift them. When are they working? Where are they working? What are their strengths? How can they best help the practice? Your inventory percentages, are they too high? And I know that a lot of drug companies say, oh man, if you spend with us right now, you'll have this much inventory and you'll save 10% on it. Well, what if that inventory expires? What if the inventory walks out the door? That is cash sitting on those shelves. So we want to make sure that we have good inventory control so that we have enough inventory when we need it and we don't have cash sitting on the shelves. Accounts receivable. Now, I don't know about you guys, but before I leave my vet's office, I have to pay. And I understand that there's some clients that use Care Credit. They might use some other form of credit cards. But guys, you should be collecting as someone standing there in front of you before they walk out the door with their pet. You should not have accounts receivable. So I would like to make this a moot number that we don't have to watch. But I understand you do have accounts receivable. So let's keep an eye on them, make sure they don't get out of control. New clients. Are you actually growing? Are you bringing in new clients? Are you bringing in new revenue? Or are you just switching out one new client for a client that leaves? So you're not really growing. You're just staying at the same spot. Reappointments. Again, I've told you guys before, I'm probably the ideal client for veterinarians. I always make appointments for my kitties. I call them up and say, hey, is it time to get their shots? Is it time to do this? Is it time to do that? I know I'm a unicorn. And if you can figure out how to rebook your clients as they're checking out, and I'm sure your dentist, your eye doctors do all of this. Hey, let's go ahead and get you on the schedule for 6 months, a year, whatever that cycle is. You can do the same thing, because let's put it on the calendar, and there's a high likelihood that it's going to stay there. Yes, things come up, vacations come up, whatever, but you can reschedule. So let's start trying to rebook those appointments. The fifth question, what is keeping me from taking more money home? And, there's a wide range of things that we can look at. Is it the scheduling? Is it the pricing? Is it operations? We've talked about inventory. We've talked about payroll. These are all things that we look at. And again, we have the proprietary Positive Financial 360, where we dig into your numbers. We're not just cleaning up your books, and we're not just looking at your tax return to see if it can be amended. We are digging deep into your numbers, your existing numbers, to see how we can best assist you in growing. So the sixth question, if I wanted to sell my practice someday, would somebody actually buy it? Look around at your practice. If you were coming in to buy that practice, would you? Kinds of questions that you need to ask to kind of shift your thought process, so that, somebody wants to buy my practice. Okay, let me change this. Let me make sure this system's in place. Let me make sure the accounting is working. Let me make sure our price structure is right. Again, look at it as though you were the buyer, not the seller. So I love the questions. How can I pay less tax? But that's not the first questions I want you guys to ask. So when we're talking, and again, I'm going to ask the questions back and forth as well, but we have those 6 questions that we want to keep in mind that we touch base on before the end of our conversation. Hop on my calendar. Happy to chat with you. Michelle Masacchio, Fit Money CPA.